Hello friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing, and in today's video I've taken the plastic off and I'm going to open up this bottle of Mod Podge that's been sitting around. This has been on my list because I've never actually used Mod Podge and it seems like it might be time. If you want to watch an expert, you should probably just turn this off and watch somebody else. But if you're just here for my crafting journey, then be sure and watch with me. I have two projects. I figure if we're going to get messy, we might as well do two things. Maybe one of them will turn out well. I have a napkin here. I've been watching Tracy on Gift Basket Appeal. She's been making some amazing things with napkins that you would not look at and think they are napkins. So when I'm done, if this looks like a napkin, it's okay because I'm going to give it to a friend that would still love me anyway, but I probably won't make any more. And then I have some bits of random projects that are leftover ink oversprays, things I tried, and I thought I would do a collage and maybe make a card out of that later. So we'll try two projects and maybe one of them will turn out. I could put this Mod Podge right on my mat, my glass mat, or my work mat. I put this work mat down because I'm experimenting with my lighting in my new craft room, and I think you're going to be blinded if I just use my glass mat. But because I'm messy, I like to work on a lid or something that I can pick up and move and then continue on without having to stop and clean it up or lay stuff in it. This is a cottage cheese lid. You could use a yogurt lid, whatever works. I am a firm believer in reduce, reuse, and recycle, and that's hard sometimes as a crafter. You want to buy all the new stuff. I like muscle cars and crafts, and other than that, I'm pretty green, but I have my weaknesses. And so you'll see that I use a lot of packaging and random things because if I'm gonna put it in a landfill, at least I want to use it a couple of times first. And there's some recycling troubles in my area right now. Okay. First, I have this napkin here, super cute. And what Tracy talks about is take a piece of double-sided tape, or I guess tape because that's what I have handy. I think washi tape would work, but you want to be sure it's one of your stickier ones. Stick it on the back and use it to help you separate the layers. See that? Now, I don't know if she usually cuts them apart and separates them one at a time. I'm just going to separate the whole thing. And maybe I should have done that before the Mod Podge. Here we go. I'm going to take my scissors and just cut this out. I'll probably change the shape of it a little bit later, so this isn't something that I need to use my cutter for or anything like that. There we go. And here is a great example of recycling things. It's the cardboard to one of the paper packs that I've made a video with. I just set these all aside. I kind of have a pile of, if my husband came across it, he would think it was trash, but he would know not to throw it out, that has lids, containers, packaging, all sorts of things. Here's a funny tip that I came across the other day. This is one of my drawer dividers, and look at this. It's an iPad lid. The box itself had some stuff glued into it and I couldn't get it out, but this is a beautiful, super sturdy white divider in my drawer, and it was trash. My husband saves all the boxes for electronics, so then I just went around and took what I wanted. Anyway, that's a random fact for you. Sometimes you need those. I watch Tracy a lot and like to listen to her. She has a really calm voice and she's just fun to craft along with. But I have to tell you, she's done a lot of different projects, and I probably wasn't watching in the, oh, I'm going to do that tomorrow night manner. You know, you might have watched a little better or taken a little better note of something. I know it curves sometimes and it'll lay back down, and that's okay. I think I definitely need more Mod Podge. I'm gonna put this on, and then these are napkins, remember, so be super careful with them. And I don't know if she lets it dry in between. I don't really know any of that. What I do know is right now it still looks like a napkin, so I'm not in love with that. And something like this where you have napkins and then, you know, cardboard that you might have just recycled or thrown out anyway is a great example. You could use this for some sort of accent on a gift packaging or a card, or just like a fun little cheery surprise for a friend. I gotta tell you, I don't know that I was supposed to put Mod Podge over the top of it. I think I remember seeing her rub it down with some plastic wrap or something, but I just want to experiment, so we'll try it. And I also have, oops, I don't think I want that folded. I also have some nice gel matte medium that I use for art journaling. I think this Mod Podge is a little less expensive. I got this for $1 at Dollar Tree, you know, and it's been sitting around. Okay, now, yeah, I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to put it over the top. This is, I don't know what this is. It might be a wallpaper roller. I'm not really sure. Okay, definitely don't do that. That's pretty funny. Let's do another one right now and just set it aside. And if you do this, be careful, because sometimes, this one definitely doesn't seem to be. Some of the napkins are 3 layers. So just be sure that you get all the layers off of your napkin. Okay, I'm gonna set this one aside. I have to tell you, it's pretty cute anyway, even though it's a little crinkled, and I'm curious to see how it dries later. The napkin is going to, when you Mod Podge it on there, it's going to be translucent. So you have to be super careful about what you put it onto. And you want to be sure that it's going to enhance it. It either needs to match it, or it's going to help make the colors pop out, but not have writing or an advertisement on it. So that's why I'm super careful to flip these over and make sure it's not the printed side. Again, I have no idea how much you're supposed to use. And this is, this brush is either from Dollar Tree or Home Depot. Be careful about buying stuff like that at craft stores. I see stuff in craft stores. I'm a home improvement person, so I know how much stuff should cost. And I see it sometimes in craft stores packaged in a certain way and marked up in a way that horrifies me. Okay, so I'm just going to rub this with my hands super gently. And if it wasn't a flat surface, like if I was trying to do a bottle or something textured, she uses like a wadded up saran wrap. And I have all sorts of weird things in this room in my various trash bins. So I could get something like that. I just save a lot of weird stuff. I still think it looks like a napkin, and so that might be the trick. I'm going to try using the other part of the napkin. About rubbing the thing on, that is the trick. Okay, if you don't rub it, it's not going to get rid of that, I guess, embossed texture that the napkin might have. So it's still going to look like a napkin. And what I like about the napkin idea is you could do a theme. You know, a stamp set lots of times is easily $10, right? So you could go to Dollar Tree or your grandma's house and find a set of napkins that goes with something and make 4 or 5 cards. Heck, you could even go to a party somewhere and bring home a funny napkin with a sass about drinking wine or something like that and make a card for a friend. I don't know about this whole Mod Podge thing. I mean, it's just a type of glue, right? Oh, I hope that dries clear. I think it does. I think it's for glitter. I really want to glue the edge of it down. It doesn't seem smooth enough, but we'll just wait and see how that one looks. And it's pretty warm in here, so you can kind of see. What I do like about this one that I put it on top of is I like that it's all kind of crackly looking. Also, that would probably be why she uses saran wrap. Let me grab something. I don't want to go get saran wrap and use it. I'll just use this baggie that's already in use. Because that way, if you have glue on the top or something, if you used paper, it would stick to it. But with saran wrap, you can kind of push it down and touch it, and it comes off again without tattering your napkin. Tattering, that's an interesting choice of... Whoa, I kind of messed that one up. Still fascinating. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they look quite a bit different. So it might depend on what kind of look you want also. So we'll set those aside. Now, months ago, somewhere, I take pictures of things. I have these ideas. I get things in my head, and then I get sidetracked, right? Happens to all of us. I saw an idea, and I thought, okay, I want to try that. What they did was they took just, I don't know, bits, stuff like this maybe. You know how I feel about pink, but I had a bunch of pink sitting around on my desk one day when I was experimenting. So let's take out the pink, so maybe we make something I like. This is some of my hand lettering. That is something I'm experimenting with, not something you want to watch. It's kind of like watching paint dry, and I'm not very good at it, so definitely watch somebody else if you want to learn about that. So, have this piece of paper, have some more right here. Here's some blue, here's some of this. Put this over the 18 so it doesn't show. I think on a good collage, you probably don't want super square pieces of paper. So I'm just giving a torn edge. I like cards and stuff sometimes with torn edges. The trick is I like to grab it, pull it towards me, and keep going the same direction. Don't switch, don't start at the other end. And just figure out what style you like, and then always do it that way. This one's pretty cute. This is when I was testing all those different pastes, and you guys can see how stuff piles up in here. It's crazy. Well, you don't want to throw it away. You might use it for collage. Because the papers are so similar, I might end up with too much of the same coloring, but we'll try it. I'm going to have definitely a lot of silver circles. Next time I'm testing product, I should think about using different stencils, so later my collage papers are more fun. Okay, I am going to take off the green washi tape, don't worry. These are fun. Okay, this was, I don't know, this might have been Perfect Pearls. Something coppery, something gold. So even the stuff that I'm tearing off of these, for now I'm just putting it down on the counter. And I think this circle is too big. There's going to be too much of that, but we'll see. This was one of those gold pastes with some water in a sprayer. just trying it out. I liked it too. Okay. I'm going to make this the full 6x6 size, just in case I decide that I want to use it in an art journal page. I should probably figure out how to Mod Podge at some point before I keep sticking stuff together. Okay, this one's pretty cute. This one's kind of fun too. I think I'm going to go over the top on this one. We'll just put it all on there and have a big old mess. How about that? It's a little warm in here because I don't have the air conditioning on. Partly so you don't have to listen to it, and partly because I get cold. So stuff's probably going to dry pretty fast. That's not your best bet when you're learning, probably. I also am guessing I need to be better about going all the way to the edge if I want stuff to lay down nice. Oops, and put it right side up. There we go. This is, I'm kind of approaching this like I would an art journal page. Just lay it down there. Just have fun. Don't think about it. Just say, okay, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? You take your trash, you glue it together. If it's ugly, you get rid of it. It was trash when you started. It is drying super fast. I don't know if you can see that. And maybe I'm not putting it on. I know you're supposed to put it pretty thin, especially if you're doing like napkins or something like that. But maybe I'm not putting it on quite thick enough. If my background was painted or printed, I wouldn't worry so much about where I put this. But I want to be sure that there is some interest behind this item. If you haven't glued tissue paper to anything, I highly recommend it. It's just fun. It's like finger painting. Just do it. Okay, I'm going to just stick this down there so that it's layered. I can trim that off later. Oops. I'm going to try and get this under this, which I may have waited too long for. Let's just do it anyway. There we go. The striped paper is a little bit structured for this item because the I didn't trim the edges, but that's okay. Same for the star, right? Here we go. These are scraps and bits and bobs. I was going to use some of them for a little mini art journal, but they're just random things that I had sitting around and I wanted to use anyway. So this is kind of fun. If I hate this, I can always go over it with some ink or watered down acrylic paint and just use it, or even like white paint, and just use it as texture behind something. So I do a lot of different projects that I don't know if you guys are interested in, and maybe you don't want to watch every single random craft I make, but I'm really having fun doing art journal pages. And if you're not familiar with that, it's kind of the concept of testing your skills with paint and practicing and not committing to a canvas. And you can do inks, and it's just different. It's free. I like scrapbooking, but I need to sit down and order pictures, so I never get around to that. And, oh, here, this will be fun too. And let's punch one of these bad boys out. I want another circle on here. I like making cards, but many times in cards, I want, I don't know, I want to do some mixed media stuff. And I just like to have all these layers sitting around, kind of see where the day takes me. Okay, this is a little boring right here. How about some vellum? Because I don't know how vellum does on this. But you know what? I just don't like this. I didn't like this embossing powder when I made this, and I'm pretty sure if I put it on here, I won't like it. Ooh, we know I'm gonna like that. Okay. This is a really big space. That's a little much for me anyway. So I think I'd like to have just a little splash of something in it. And I'm thinking about which way I tore this one. The way I tore it, the edge went down, And I'm going to do the same thing here. That's not usually the way I tear things. Just like I said, I usually tear towards me, and then I get the rough edge showing. It just kind of depends on how you want your paper to go. So this one I tore towards me, and this one I tore underneath it. Just experiment, and if you're doing all four sides of something, you probably want to do them the same way. But if you want like a messier look, if you're into distressed looking things, and you know, lots of people use a whole bunch of different ink techniques, you can also tear the paper. If you like things more vintage and aged looking, tearing stuff is a really good way to do that. Now, I'm going to use, this is too much white over here for me, and I want, well, you know me, I need a little blue, a little more blue, and I just want to bring it in. I shouldn't worry too much about what the paper looks like and having balance and stuff, because I have no idea what part of this paper I'm going to use. Okay, I don't like this. You see that? How it kind of just lined up, and I have two edges there. It's a little bit, there we go. It's a little bit harsh. I want it to be more fun. A little more tattered looking. There we go. Okay, hot mess. Now let's see what happens if we put Mod Podge over the whole top of this hot mess. And that's part of art journaling too. You could do this in a page and then put it, is just to experiment and say, what if? What if I take this ink and this paint, and what if I put these things together? I've used papers with a lot of different thicknesses here, so that makes it more complex. If I had used all printed papers or thinner papers, things would lay down a little better. But if I always, I mean, that's how life is, right? Maybe you have a gift bag from somebody that you're really excited to use because it has sentimental meaning for you, and you want to put it in a craft page or a scrapbook, and it's thick. So by experimenting, then you know if it will work. And you can experiment with some other thick paper first, not your sentimental item. That's what a lot of this is about. Okay. Big sticky mess. Super fun. I have a tendency to be a person who doesn't like to get dirty, doesn't like their hands dirty. I mean, except in gardening, but like paint and that kind of stuff. So I think it's fun every now and then to just say, okay, I'm going to be covered in paint and glue. All right. So this is a very ugly item. I totally get that. But think about the colors and the texture and the interest. We'll see how it looks when it's dry. It could be cropped down. Some people have like a piece of paper that they have cut, and it has a 4x6 center, or they use it for photo scrap, something like that. So you can kind of see, oh wait, what if I take this section of it? That has a lot of interest and a lot of color. Let me show you how these two are looking. This one looks smooth and quite frankly a little boring. The one that I put the Mod Podge over the top has like a kind of crackly fun finish, almost like a crackle finish, so I like it. This cardboard, so these 6x6 paper pad things, I think they're probably a little thin. I think I should have used, so this is chipboard. See, it's quite a bit thicker. I probably should have used something a little thicker, especially because I'm learning. That might have helped me more. This is the package that my job ticket holder, my paper organizers came in. I hope you're having a great time watching my videos. Thank you so much for coming on my crafting journey with me and supporting me. I'm just about to hit 100 subscribers. I would guess by the time I get this video, this finished and online, I might have 100. So thank you so very much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm really enjoying the friends that I'm making through your comments and getting to know you and watching your channels too. Be sure you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.